to you by Time Out Wellness LLC. This is the podcast that's going to elevate, educate, and help you start your week a little brighter with more intention and packed with vibes you need. I am your host, Kisei, and today is Monday, March 31st, the only one you will ever see in this lifetime. So, carpe diem. All right, let's shift the energy and own this week, shall we? Let's start with our affirmation of the day. You want to do a deep inhale. I am grounded, focused, and ready for the opportunities this week brings. Now say it with me. I am grounded, focused, and ready for the opportunities this week brings. Yes. So stay focused. Don't hate Monday. Every Monday has intention. Every Monday has a intention. Our intention of the day today: set the intention to respond and not react. That's talking to me. To respond and not react. Be mindful of your energy and how you show up for yourself and others. Be mindful. That's a being mindful really helps everything. Our word of the day is poise. It's a noun, and it means graceful and elegant, bearing in a person. Let's move through Monday with poise, even when the coffee line is long and the emails are longer. This brings me into my first topic. So, last week, I was watching Felicia Rashad on The Breakfast Club, and they asked her something about how women dress. And her, India Irie, they've been getting a lot of backlash of what they said. And I'm going to say it too. I need the backlash though. So, um, they were just basically saying how, women aren't classy. Oh, and this too. I seen a guy say men are obsessed with women anymore, and this goes back to what Felicia Rashad was saying and India Ari was saying. Why should men be obsessed when y'all leave nothing to the imagination? I'm saying y'all because I'm still that dressing 3/4, rocking 3/4 of cloth, never showing my stuff off, boo. Okay, I definitely believe in you can be completely covered and be super sexy. And also, I'm just not like interested in being your wet dream. Like I'm not about to be out here with my booty cheeks out, dressed nothing, and you go home and think about me. Like, no, I'm not giving you that. That's not for you. So I want to know from you all in the comments, how do you feel about how women today dress? Like, I know they were saying, like, of course we have our Cardi and we have our Megan, and even in my day we had, that sounds so old. Even in my day we had our little Kim, and even then though I didn't dress, I was still fully clothed. Even then. But and of course we're liberated, we can do what we want to do, but it still has a level of class that we need to maintain. I was watching a video yesterday and I see right, exactly, Nikki. I seen it was a shot of somebody in church and they had a dress on, but I was like, you can tell that they needed a slip. Do women still wear slips? I know when I said something to my brother about a slip one day, he was like, "What? Do people still wear them? I haven't heard that." I was like, "Honey, I have several. I still have slips." Just because it's a level of decorum when you have, especially when you grow up. When you have a dress on, it's nothing worse than seeing a whole bunch of, like, a bag of nickels. Somebody hit you in the back with a bag of nickels. Like, you you'd be surprised how undergarments would just fix the whole outfit. Slips are to be considered an undergarment. So I just say this to say, ladies, consider where you are going when you get dressed. Like, we shouldn't be seeing you. One thing Felicia said is she gets bothered when she walks to campuses and see young ladies in strips of clothes. Like, why are you going to the club? You going to class. You're going to get education. Why are you going? Why are you showing up in like booty shorts? Oh yeah. I don't see none of that. Pantyhose. I got all that upstairs still. But why do you feel? I don't know. And I definitely feel like it's all social media. I feel like I'm so grateful that we grew up in an era where um we didn't have to put on. I feel like a lot of times these girls are wearing this because they have to put on. It's a whole self-esteem issue. It's a whole self-esteem issue. But I just feel like my 2 cents is consider where you're going. You know, if you're going to church, you don't need to look like you going to the club. And put a slip on. Even if your dress is like, even if you have a nice dress on, put a slip on. Put a slip on. It just looks a little bit more classy. Put a slip on. Put a shaper on. Like, come on, ladies. Look at yourself in the mirror and just, you know. My mother used to always say, when certain people came out of the house, she'd be like, that girl don't have friends or she don't have a mirror at home. Because people just come out the house looking at everything. So just be cognizant of what you're putting on when you go into like. So if you go to the beach, you're not going to wear an overcoat. So when you go to church, you shouldn't wear a bathing suit. Pretty much. I'm still baffled at how the kids dress for school. The bedtime. Yes, the when I was in um the airport a few weeks ago. Like I know I can remember back in the day when my aunt one time for my aunt Carol. My aunt Carol used to work for Eastern Airlines, and she used to get us tickets and stuff like that. But you know they had a way of you had to dress, and she I mean she didn't think that we didn't dress right, but she just had to give us the disclaimer of how do you dress when you go out. And I'm like, we was bougie anyway, so we was gonna be dressed up anyway. But um back in the day you had a level of class when you travel, and I still do, just because you don't never know who you're gonna run into the airport. All right, but when I was there a few weeks ago in the airport, the amount of bonnets, and I get it, you want to travel, you're gonna have a long flight. Save the bonnet for when you get on the flight, though. It's just depressing, and it's just like I seen somebody last week. They had the bonnet and the whole pajama outfit on. It would take you 2 seconds to just throw some sweats on, just throw some jeans on. I know it's your life, but still, we need to look a certain way when we go out. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. What do you think about that? Oh God, and this brings me on to the next topic. Did you all see the video of Marvin Sapp? I want to hear what y'all think about that. So I've been seeing people with mixed reviews. I've been seeing people saying that, oh, people just don't know that that's what happens when the spirit takes over in church. That's what sacrificing is. And I get that. I get that. However, churches have, I'm not going to say that. That's not nice. I can't think of a nice way to say it. The churches are notorious for taking money, for stealing money. Um, if you guys have ever seen The Leap of Faith, where Steve Martin made a whole actual church just to go from town to town and take money. Okay, so churches have been notorious for taking money, mishandling funds. So it's a big no for some people. People, like I go to church, you know, I go to church. I don't go to church. I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not a church thumper. I do go to church. However, even if I'm not at church, I still tithe. And I don't even really call it tithe. I just call it putting out good karma, because I don't feel like church is the only way you can tithe. You need to be tithing like every day, all day, whether it's with your time, with your money, what have you. But what do y'all think about that? I'm just gonna go ahead and get my little 2 pennies. I just feel like it was very audacious. I get that we are trying to sacrifice something, and you know, even me, like at times when I have been in church, when I've been on the ministry team where we've had to sell CDs, and when we have a guest preacher, yeah, I pop the price up. You know why? Because now, first of all, if we have a guest preacher, if we're in the house, if we're in the church on a Tuesday, like during revival, yeah, you're gonna pay. That's gonna ante up because first of all, we're in here on a Tuesday when we're not usually in here on a Tuesday for services anyway. Okay, so this Tuesday we had to turn on the electric, which means we had to turn on the AC, we had to turn on the lights. All right, so that's an extra day, and then we also had to pay this man to come down here, man or woman, to come down here and speak. Yes, that CD is going to be a little bit more money because we are sacrificing. You know, we're here on days that we normally aren't here. So yeah, we have to sacrifice and charge a little bit more and pay a little bit more. That's what we have to do. I get it. You know, I get it. And I just think it's very audacious for him to be like, close the doors, nobody leaving until. And at this point, I also like the why of things. Why do we all need to give $20 a piece? Because A, B, C, and D. You give the why. Yeah, I know people are gonna be like, well, that's what faith is for. No. I'm all for the why. I need for you all to give us $20 each because our church is suffering. If we don't pay this, we are going to be A, B, C, and D. Give the why. Just don't tell me we need to give $20 each and nobody's leaving until it happens. Like, that's pretty audacious. TikTok, I need some likes. That's pretty audacious. So I want to hear from you all. What do you think about him asking for money like that and for telling people that they can't leave until they run that money? I want to hear from y'all. All right. As we talk about money, a segue right into April 5th. April 5th is going to be the day where they want us all to, everyone to come out and stand up to Elon and Trump, protest against them. Okay, so, I mean, I voted right. I heard everything Kamala said, whether I thought she was a liar or not. And I voted right. Okay? We voted right. This man told you exactly what he was going to do. He didn't lie anything about what he was going to do. Yet you believe that he was not going to do what he said he was going to do. Now you want us to come out there and be on the forefront? Never in ever history have we had people come and defend our honor the way we defend our own honor. There's never, I mean, we fight for everybody. Like, you know, I'm not going to get into it because I'm sure y'all are like, whenever we fight, it's for everybody. It's not just for black people. It's for everybody. So I just feel like, I just feel like it's time for somebody to come stand up for us. You know, my little cousin was like, she going to go out there and, it's really for, she's standing up for, Ukraine. And I respect that. I respect that she's standing up for Ukraine. I really respect that. I love her for that, And she said, they've been fighting for their land since Jimmy Carter. And I respect her for that. I do. I do. Just, and I pray for Ukraine. I pray for, I hate what they're going through, but I just really feel like we either going to go over there and fix it or not. I just feel like United States, we just get so caught up in everybody's business so much, and we just got a whole mess going on over here. Anyway, but so April 5th, they want 1 million people to come up and protest. The problem I have with that is the minute we show up, that's when your Antifa people show up. That's what they call, right? The people who act like they Black Lives Matter, and they start breaking windows and spraying BLM on stuff. And so it's like, no, because then they're gonna start coming out there and try and shoot us, martial law. I just feel like this is a time that we need to fall back for real. We need to fall back, and let's see what y'all gonna do, because I feel like now y'all understand how we feel. You know, y'all crying about stuff that we've been crying about. So I just feel like, I wish I don't I want everybody to be safe. I pray for a great outcome, but I'm just not I'll be making body butter that day. I'll be making body butter that day. All right. Which takes me to April 18th to the 21st. Now this I will absolutely um be a part of. So, right now we are boycotting Amazon and Target. Tomorrow is the last day. Now, what I didn't know is, so I was like, at first I was like, I'm not, I can't get rid of, I won't order anything from Amazon, but I have to keep Alexa because her and Chat GPT, those are my assistants. And what I did not know is when I was doing something, and it was like for Prime members, and I'm like, well, why they act like I'm not a Prime member? And then I seen where it said that my membership, um, I got a new card. So you know how you have to update the card, and it had an update. I didn't know this though because I have not been shopping. I might have been looking for something on Amazon. I wasn't going to shop, and I was like, wow, but Alexa still works. So I was like, well, then I'm not going to. Tomorrow is when I'll go ahead and or Wednesday, whenever the first is when I'll go ahead and reinstate my Amazon account. But I was like, oh, well, that's cool. I'm not supporting them really anyway. So I didn't order anything. And apparently, Alexa still works if you don't have your Prime account. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about my homegirl, Jasmine Crockett. That's my sister in my head. And she's in these headlines per usual. Um, Making folks mad is what she does. And she does it so eloquently, with a twist, I'll say. Um, they're mad that she's calling Governor Abbott of Texas Governor Hot Wheels. First of all, allegedly, I was reading some stuff and they say that's what they call him. Okay? That's what they call him. So they're trying to come for her. But I don't see anybody. How much trouble did Trump get in when he was making fun of Serge Koleski during his first run? He still managed to become president. So it just kills me how, of course, they want to come for us and talk about us and, the stuff we say. And it's really so aggravating for, especially watching for Jasmine, because it's like, now it's, oh, she's trying to be ghetto and she's smart. She went to this school. First of all, why does when a black woman can communicate and be smart, she's ghetto? Just because she's not speaking like this, she's ghetto? Like, how is that? And it's so disheartening because I seen Judge Joe Brown. He was like, Jasmine is ghetto and those eyelashes. I'm just like, are you serious? Like, especially coming from someone like you, sir, who have been here and seen history, and for you to come on here and disrespect this young black woman, I was so disappointed. And I seen another black MAGA trying to come for her, and then I seen another one, like, oh, another one called her they said she's a social media content creator trying to pose as a politician. It's so disheartening to see our own people tearing her down. When I really, like, listen, I'm here for Jasmine. I love her. I love how she communicates. I love how she communicates for the real people. Honestly, I feel like if Jasmine had been around before, I probably would have paid more attention, because it's just very gratifying to see and hear someone who looks and sounds like where you're from speak so eloquently, and you understand what she's saying, you know? And just politics alone, like, I was watching some stuff, might as well go on and get on her. So, you seen Jasmine talk about the Tesla takedown on her birthday, and how they're trying to say that she is encouraging violence. And if anybody has seen the AG Bondi girl, that's because we will always be scared of an educated black woman. Any magazine would be nervous of her for any yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They and it's so, it's like, I promise y'all, I can't, it's so important for us to evolve and just keep reading, because they think that we're not educated. They swear that all the people who have, all the people that are taken out of DEI who have high ranking positions, super elevated positions, they're taking them down because they think we're too dumb to be smart, like, because we're black. And it's just like, it's crazy watching how scared they are of us. Y'all know we never gonna get. If anything, Jasmine gonna mess up reparations, because they're gonna be like, oh, we don't need a whole bunch of people like her having no money. Okay, which talks about, let's talk about that too. They trying to call her out because oh, she just bought this, and oh, you only make $117,000 a year. How was you able to get this, and how was you able to get that? And clearly, all you gotta do is Google, and they tell you, like, she has had awesome investments, like stock investments. She has great real estate investments, and it's like, why does she have to be doing something illegal? Because she has something, and she's black, and she's educated. It's like, y'all are so pathetic. But anyway, let's talk about AG Bondi. This woman. So, I mean, when I seen her response to Jasmine, and it really, I was like, she just sounds stupid. She sounds stupid. And I was like, I just feel like when these people get into these offices and these positions, they just don't remember. They just conveniently forget the amount of stuff that we have been through as a race. And for her to be sitting here talking about some, violence, and I'm like, so I had to do a little digging on AG Bondi, and she's a hot mess. Do y'all know she only got into that position? She fell into that position. She wasn't chosen for that position. Okay, so she got into that position because the person that Trump had in that position first got caught, like, groping some people in a restaurant or something like that at a dinner. And the people that were there, they were going to make a big donation. And they seen him, like, they seen him either doing it or whatever. They was all there. And they told Trump, you gotta get rid of him as attorney general, or we're not gonna give you our money. Because you know what Trump did. He got rid of the person and got AG. All right, so she came in there on a scandal, but then guys, like, I was watching Rachel Maddow, and you guys will see that once I edit this and put Rachel Maddow, I'm gonna have the clips of Rachel Maddow. I can't even put the whole thing up there because Rachel was going in on her. If you watch her, you already know. But this woman, the Bondi girl, is like off the chain. Okay, like, she's so unethical, is unreal. She's a whole racist. She don't like gay people. It's crazy the amount of stuff that she got going on. Then I was watching somebody else, and they said that guy, I forgot his name, the guy, the first attorney general, they was like, oh, anybody's better than him, and he's dumb as a bag of nickels or something like that. So it just lets you know that she's not much of a better pick either. It's just, it's crazy. But I'm so over her. I'm over her and bleach build bad, but bad build. Audrey, is that her name? Is that her name? Marjorie. I'm over her too. Oh, let's not forget about Pete Hegseth leaking the war plans. All right, now, and I was watching something else. They were saying before, like, this happened before, and Trump. They have Trump on camera saying how, oh, this shouldn't happen, blah 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 blah. Whenever this happens, this person should be fired. Meanwhile, they are trying to cover it up with all kinds of stuff about Hegseth and why he's still there. He didn't leak it. You know how they do. Tap dance and cover things up. What they do best. That's what they do best. So, yep. All right, what else we have here? All right, our finance fun fact, guys. Did you know investing just $20 a week starting at the age 25 could grow into over $150,000 by age 65, assuming an average 7% return? The key is time and consistency. Start small. Your future self will thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and piggyback off of that. It absolutely will. Because I started, you guys hear me say it all the time. I have Stash, I have Albert, and I have Acorns. And I have them taken, and I have another a 401k. But Stash, Albert, and Acorns, like, they take little money out. Like, one of them steals, like, if I spend 276, they take the spare change and they deposit it. I have one of them stealing like $10 a week. Another one takes $50 every other week. I have them set this, like, take little money from me, and the goal is to really have them take money that you don't even miss. And if you let that money build up over time, it helps. And I have to say, like, I've been home for 6 months, so I only get a portion of what I'm getting paid. So a couple of times I had to dip into my savings, but I will have to say, thank God that I was able to have that, you know? And the key is absolutely doing it little at a time, because if you try and save, $150 per paycheck, like the average American, that's a lot. You can see that. You can see that. So the key is to really just, like, little money that you're not even paying attention to, and before you know it, you be like, wait a minute, what? So yeah, definitely start small, and before you know it, like, this time has went by so fast. Like, it's people still that have not, like my age, who have not started investing in retirement. I'm like, we was just 10 yesterday, now we 50. You better, and don't count on Social Security, especially with Elon on them over there. All right, so also, let's talk about AI technology. I was watching something over the weekend, and it was saying how it's all about saving time, and how, you're at work, or even, being an entrepreneur, how you want to save time on things, and you want things to be expeditious as possible. You look for ways to save your time. So, and for those of you who don't know, I have a Viral Body Butter. I have a business. I have a skincare line. I have Viral Body Butter. Link is in bio. So, as I am, I got like a huge order over the weekend, lots of orders, and I was standing there at the point where I was just like, you know. So when you're doing this, you have to be able to find out, your investment, your profit margin. If you're spending, if you need to be making back the money you put out. And I'm just good for throwing some prices up there and getting the money. or whatever. So, um, I spent like 2 hours, y'all, doing algebra because it's all algebra. When they tell you y'all don't need algebra, it's a lie. You need algebra. Your whole day is algebra, and especially when you're doing body butters, because I need to know how much oil do I need to make 30 jars of body butter. But not only 30 jars, I have 10 jars that's 2 ounces, 10 jars that's 3 ounces, 10 jars that's 6 ounces. How much oil do I need? How much coconut oil? How much body butter? How much do I need? How much of A and B and C do I need to make X? Okay. Once I have X, how much is it per gram? You get what I'm saying? So it's like you're sitting there doing math. I'm sitting there doing math, and um, I had to dust my brain off because it was like, I've had like, I continue education. I've had algebra like within the past couple of years, but it's like if you're not in that mind frame, you're not in that mind frame. So I had to get in that mind frame, and I'm doing one side, I'm doing it on the other side. I'm like doing. I know I'm doing what I'm doing. So then I'm like talking to my friend, and he knows how much I love ChatGPT, and everything is ChatGPT. And I'm like, oh my God, my brain is hurt, and I was doing so much math today, and I'm telling him what I was doing. He was like, he said, well, why didn't you just use ChatGPT? I was like, first of all, I was mad because I was just like, I didn't think of that, okay? And especially as much as I love ChatGPT, I didn't think to do that. Like, what? So I did the ChatGPT. I put I said I'm gonna do it just because first of all, I just want to see I want to correct myself. I want to see if I was wrong or what have you. All right. So I put it in there. I hear the truck. I put it in there. I put the I'm over here trying. I'm sorry guys. I'm over here on my cameras. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see everything going okay. I heard a truck. I had to see where it's coming from. So I put it on. Ooh, sorry y'all. So the critic that I am, I want to make sure that what I put in here was right. All right. So I put it in there, and y'all, thank you over here. Thank you for all those. I'm not sure who's giving me all those hearts. I appreciate you guys. We're here on TikTok. And when I tell y'all, I put the equation in, I type it out. Just like if I have this amount of how much, how much do I need to make this amount? How much do I have left over? Blah 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 blah. And yada yada yada. You ask exactly what you want. What's my profit margin? If I and when I tell you, it took me longer to type in what I wanted it to do, than the response it gave me. And the response that it gave me, y'all, it was so packed. By the time that thing finished telling me the response, I got my pricing for bulk. Like I have a whole bundle now. So if women want to order for like say your wedding, you can. If somebody wants to order it, I mean wants to buy it for their store, I have all of that now. Chat GPT gave me all of that. So I say it to say, and my brother was like, "Oh, the children, I feel sorry for them because they're not gonna learn, and they're not. They definitely not. But what I do want to say, children, still learn how to do it because when you go take a standardized test, unless they let you bring your cell phone in, you're not gonna know how to do algebra. So I definitely will still say, learn how to do math, learn how to do stuff, because ChatGPT is not always gonna be there as much of a good. It's a good girlfriend. It's a good girlfriend for me. I have them all. Hey there, B Rod. What's up, my love? Only need one question. X question. Why is White House on social media telling everybody? Because they're scared, Nick. They're scared. They're so scared of educated black people. They're scared. This is why they held us down for so long. They already knew. They knew. I'm so convinced when they came and got us from over there, they came into the dynasty, like they couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand it and they just wanted to tear it down. So they know where we come from. They know we're not lazy. They know we not Like they know everything they say about us is opposite. We not dumb. We not lazy. We became lazy when we start working for free. Okay, that's what that was. But listen, I'm here to wake up the culture for real. Yeah, I don't feel like doing that. The horoscope situation. Do y'all like the horoscope situation? Tell me in the comments if I should keep the horoscope situation. Sometimes I just feel like it's fun though. It's fun. That's why I like it. All right, I'm gonna do the horoscopes. Hee hee. Real fast. All right, so for Aries, take charge, but remember to listen. Collaboration will get you further today. Taurus, ground yourself. Nature or a creative project will bring peace. Gemini, communication is key today. Don't avoid that conversation. Ooh, the Gemini, scary for y'all. Cancer, home is your sanctuary. Make time to tidy and recharge. The key of tidying up. That's a book I read. Your charisma, Leo, your charisma is off the charts. Use it to network or lead. Virgo, details matter, but don't let perfectionism delay progress. Libra, balance your schedule. You've been overcommitting, honey. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Scorpio, trust your instincts. They're sharper than you think. Sagittarius, try something new. A little adventure will spark joy. Capricorn, focus on long term goals. Set the plan, then take one step today. Aquarius, be open to feedback. A shift in perspective will help. Pisces, creative energy is high. Express yourself through art, music, or journaling. Yay! All right, so it's just a little fun. I always liked the horoscopes when I was growing up. I love to listen to the horoscopes. Hey, B Ron, thank you. I love that I'm going live again too. So every Monday I'm here live, and I upload, like, once I'm done here, then I have to go back in and put like all my videos in the podcast, and then I'll launch it. So yeah, somebody's gonna have a conversation with you today. That's gonna be funny. Tell your mom I said hi. Okay, guys, self care tip of the day. Start your week with a digital detox, even just for an hour. No phone, no laptop. Let your brain breathe. That's so major. You know what I've been doing? I do all kinds of reading and stuff like that. And like probably like the past month and a half, I've been like reading a lot about frequencies. I'm always like vibrate high, but I really found out about the frequencies, and I love background music. Like when I'm background noise, like if I'm on a laptop, if I'm working and stuff like that, I love background noise. But my problem with me is it can't be something I'm like, what? Like, I can't have YouTube on in the background because usually Reese Waters or Roland or Tiffany is gonna come on, and before you know it, I'm sucked in, yelling and arguing with them, and I'm not getting nothing done. So what I started doing is putting on the 40Hz. It's a brain frequency that help you, remember. It helps your information sink in better. So, thank you, Lisa King. I appreciate that. Thank you. Good morning from Nebraska. How's the weather out in Nebraska? It's gotta be freezing over there, huh? Thank you. Thank you for all the loves. I appreciate you for that. So yeah, I put on 40Hz. That's gonna help you concentrate. Because again, and if I put music on in the background, I'm gonna look for a microphone and start singing. So yeah. Um, but you should. A lot of times, like that time after I took like 30 hours to edit a podcast, I just watched something brainless. I just watched something like and it's not even brainless because it's still an art show. I love this show called Face Off where they do a lot of special effect makeup. So I'll just watch that. Tell her I said hello. You have a good day too. Be a good girl. B Rod. So give your brain a break, though, for real. All right, let's talk some mental health. So, mental health tip of the day. Feeling overwhelmed, write down everything on your mind. Brain dumps help relieve anxiety and bring clarity. Don't keep it all up there, let it out. And I can definitely vouch for that because I'm that person who um, I have ADHD, manic depression. My brain is always going, the mania of it all right? But definitely, I have to help manage it, keeping a journal around, paper around, works. Because there's nothing worse, like, I'll be sitting here writing, and then, like, my brain just does not stop. It does not stop. And the worst thing you can say is, oh, I'll remember that when I'm working on it. No, you won't. No, you won't. So write it down. Write it down, and it really helps. Journaling helps too. Journaling helps, and then just I write everything down. Like if I'm about to start a task, what I'll do is say, right now you're working on, and I'll write down right now what I'm working on, because what I can do so easy is if I'm surfing the net for something specific, I'll hit on something and I'll be like, and before you know, I'm like, wait, what was I doing? So I'll right now what you're doing is, and then I'll have to look at I'm like, okay, I can't do this. I can't get caught up in this, and I have to keep moving. So writing it down, keeping a notebook, something I listened to over the weekend. I was listening to an audio book over the weekend, and that was another tip that had to keep a notebook. And I'm like, good, I'm happy I already do that. So keeping a notebook around is an amazing thing. All right, for your for the clarity of it all. So let's talk a little bit about mental health. So over the weekend, well, Friday, I did an episode. I did a conversations with Kisei episode with my own therapist. Okay, because you know you guys always hear me talking about therapy, and when I tell you now, when I first started therapy, I was a head case. Okay, I'll be the first to admit. What I love though is I knew I took the I did self evaluation. Was like I need therapy. I knew it was a mess. And when I first started with her, I was going every single Tuesday. And this was like, I started with her a little over a year ago. I was going every Tuesday. And on via webcam. So please don't feel like you have to go and see your therapist. I do it right here, comfort of my own home. I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to worry about traffic. Okay? So those are the two pluses for it. Um, started with her, and then, after she diagnosed me with manic depression, um, I felt some kind of way about that too. But then once I started reading about it, I was like, oh my God, that's me. All right. So not only did I see her, I also took accountability on my end and really started uh, figuring out what this manic depression thing is. When I tell y'all, I was like, it all started making sense because for a long time, I thought I was just an angry Scorpio with a Gemini rising sign. Okay. I did. And I was just like, that's who I am. That's who I am. And whatever. And that's why I am unhinged. Okay. So once I had therapy, and you are able to become more aware of how you react, how you make people feel, how you make your own self feel. Begin this journey of evolution, and that's what I did with her. So now that I am where I am a big advocate for mental health. Mental health means a healthy life, a more peaceful life. So I'm always advocating for it. And I watched a video over the weekend of my friend, and this is a person I know. She's been very confident, since I've known her. And when I seen the video, I was just like, I couldn't believe it, you know. But it's all to say, it's absolutely because of the mental health. And she even goes to say in the video how her self-worth, she didn't have any self-worth. And, she was disappointed in herself. But what we have to do is be kind to ourselves, because a lot of times, well, most times, we're raised by our parents, and their ideologies, what they think of, aren't always right, and it gets onto us, and we grow up, we see things, we think things are supposed to be, we find ourselves in these situations, and a lot of times people can't get them. Like, I know people right now who are in relationships for 10, 12 years, and they're completely miserable. All right, we get ourselves in these situations with some kind of thinking that this is what we deserve, because a lot of times that's what we've seen our parents in bad relationships, we've seen our mothers in relationships, bad relationships, and we feel like, oh, this is how we got to settle. And she was just talking about how her self-worth was, and so on and so forth. Clear therapy session. Even she got through it, but something made her go there. Something made her feel like that's what she deserved, which, it probably something that she seen growing up. I say this to say, and not only her, over the weekend also, I've seen a couple of my friends, they lost their father. All right. Now they're all older. They're all over 40. All right. They're all over 40. Three men. All right. One of them is over 50. All right. So these are three men that have had their father in their life, all of their life. All of their life. Now, I watched the oldest one. He had a really hard time because it was just, it's been a few deaths back to back. All right. And that oldest one was having a hard time. And people aren't always ready to hear that, but all I seen was a whole therapy session. And this is what I have to fight. I even told my one homeboy, he lost his father a couple weeks ago, same. We about to be 50 years old. And I can remember his father being very, very, very relevant when we was children. So in high school, like, he was always there. So when this man dies at 50, when you're at 50 years old and these men die, these men that have been there your whole life, this is a new part of your life. This is a new chapter in your life. And what you need to learn how to do is navigate that with intention. Because you know what? Oh, one time for Lola, 821. My sister's here in the essence. It's her birthday. Whenever I see 821, I already know she's that's one of my angel numbers. Hey, Lo. But people, please, please, please go talk to somebody, because when you have, if you gotten to 50 years old and you still have your parents and then you don't, that's a tough pill to swallow. When you don't have your parents, being an orphan is not easy. And even if you're grown and you don't, your parent is over there, you take advantage of, not take advantage, but you don't even realize what they mean, how, you love them. But when I tell you the amount, you love your parents, you love them, but your love gets even deeper when you don't have them. And when you lose a parent, it can either be a good thing or a bad thing. It can either be good gasoline or it could be a bad thing. You could be like, all right, I'm gonna take this and make my parents proud, or, oh, I just need a few drinks. I just need a few drinks. I just need a few puffs. I just need a few bumps. I just need a couple puffs. Before you know it, you're a whole alcoholic, a whole drug addict, because, oh, okay, I'm almost done. Come to the back door. The back door's open. You funny as hell. But before you know it, you have become an addict, an alcoholic, because you were just trying to cope with this situation that you don't understand how to cope with, you know? So this is the time that you want to go ahead and speak to somebody that can help you unpack this problem that you are going through. Because it's not easy. It's not easy having that person. My mother died. My father died when I was 15. My mother died when I was 34. And I really didn't feel like I was a woman until my mother died. I felt like I was a kid, and I finally became an adult. My mother died. And at first I didn't get therapy. I didn't get therapy. And when I tell you, when I finally got therapy, I'm telling you, y'all, I'll be like, Hi, Dixon Mayes. Oh, hi. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't. TikTok over here. You guys are all talking to me. Hi there. Thank you. When I got therapy, it was like, wow, wow. And even after this, I went down to once. I'm down to once a month with my therapist. But after this episode with her, I was like, I think I want to go back to twice a month because she was talking. Wait, the way she was talking. First of all, like my therapist, she addresses my issues the way my issues need to be addressed. But when I tell you, I felt like when I was talking to her the other day, I really felt like I was in church and I had to wrap myself up because how the preach be talking to you and you feel like they just. I was just like, and she wasn't. I would have thought that she was coming for me, but she wasn't coming for me. She was just honestly answering my questions. But I was just like, after talking to her, I was like, I need more therapy. I need more therapy. So I'm just saying, I'm urging you, I'm begging you to please get some therapy. I would say, if you have a child, put your child in therapy at 10 years old. Because I seen the other day, I was talking to my friend the other day, and she was saying how it was two friends. One friend was saying how she found out her child was getting bullied, okay? And then another one came home and she said the baby just started acting out of nowhere. Like the baby started climbing on chairs, climbing on desks in the classroom, and just acting out. And they want to give her medication. I said, don't give her no medication. No medication. Something happened. Either something happened or she's just too smart for there. But it's no. Like dig deep. Don't try and medicate these kids and listen to what they have to say. Pay attention because bully is real. That's some children are killing themselves at young ages because they're getting bullied. So I would say put your child in therapy at 10 years old because it's still stuff that they're scared to tell you. Even if you tell them you can come talk to me about anything, it's still stuff they don't want to talk to you about. So put your kid in therapy so they can have a healthy mind. And kids are cruel, and you know they need to be able to grow up with a clear mind. Be able to navigate through um, the teenage years because a lot of trauma comes from those teenage years. Hell, I told a girl, she was telling me, she said how she had a rough childhood. I said, childhood is a scary place for a child, and it can be. It can be. So I would urge you all to please get therapy. Put your child in therapy. Therapy is our friend. It's not a mean thing. All right, I'm gonna keep it moving just because my homegirl is here and we gotta go to breakfast. um, Black History fun fact: on this day in 1968, President B. Lyndon Johnson signed the Civil Rights Civil. I'm gonna backtrack that because I'm gonna cut that out. Black History fun fact: on this day in 1968, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1968, which included the Fair Housing Act, a key piece of legislation, a key piece of legislation against racial discrimination in housing, which is still relevant, still necessary. I want to talk about that to another day. All right. Health tip of the day: start your morning with lemon water. It boosts your immune system, supports digestion, and helps your body after sleep. All right. All right, guys. So that was a lot. I skipped out on a few things just because, but I don't want you to feel like Monday is your enemy. Um, I want you to take full advantage of Monday. And I hope this gave you some clarity, some encouragement, and a sprinkle of inspiration. Don't forget Mondays are not your enemy. It's a fresh start. Let's get the week started right. Be sure to please follow, share, and tag someone who needs this vibe. Please make sure you are going to purchase that viral body butter, which is in those. The links are in my bios. And I'm Kisei. This is Don't Hate Monday, and I'll catch you next week. Make sure you're checking out my podcast too on Sundays. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. We are not a K. Also, Conversations with Keisha. I just put a new episode out on Saturday. That's featuring my homegirl Kate. She's a chef. She's a chef, a stay-at-home mom that became a chef. So Her episode is up. My videos are starting to get more views. They're only in the 40s, but hey, they used to be in the 10s. So I'll take it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You have a blessed week, faithful Monday, and don't hate it. Peace out. All right, social media. I'll holla at y'all. I appreciate y'all. Go ahead and check out that the viral beauty body butter, and go ahead and like and subscribe.